Ram Bahadur stood at the very edge of his world, a patch of barren, dusty earth that promised nothing but hard labor. Two lonely goats were tied to a weathered wooden post, their bleating the only sound in the stillness. He had no formal education to lean on, and his pockets were as empty as the dry riverbeds nearby. All around him, the village was changing. He watched his neighbors boarding crowded buses for the city or packing suitcases for flights to distant foreign lands. They sought a future elsewhere, but Ram Bahadur stayed. He gripped his rusted shovel with calloused hands. He chose the mountain soil, deciding then and there that his destiny would be carved from the very earth beneath his feet. The first month was a brutal test of his resolve. The mountains did not welcome his ambition. They fought back with heat and isolation. Disaster struck early when his strongest goat fell ill, shivering in the dirt. Every meager rupee he had saved, every bit of capital intended for feed, vanished instantly into expensive vet bills and medicine. It felt as though the universe was mocking his choice to stay. But Ram Bahadur did not quit. Instead of surrendering to the silence of the hills, he began to walk. He trekked for 3 grueling hours under the scorching sun to reach the district office. He sat among strangers to attend a training session on modern animal husbandry. He returned not with money, but with something more valuable. A notebook overflowing with feeding schedules and vaccination dates. Knowledge was his new tool, and he applied it with mechanical precision. His life became a cycle of disciplined labor. Every single morning, long before the sun dared to peek over the jagged peaks, Ram Bahadur was awake at 4 o'clock. He climbed the steep slopes to cut the freshest, dew-covered grass. Every evening he returned to the shed, scrubbing the stone floors until they shone under his lantern. He followed his vaccination charts like a sacred text. The neighbors who had stayed behind watched with curiosity as his discipline bore fruit. By the second year, the 2 goats had become 10. The small shed began to feel like a home of growth, a testament to the power of a man who refused to be outworked by his own circumstances. Then came the ultimate test. A winter blight swept through the valley like a ghost, bringing a deadly chill that the village was not prepared for. One by one, the livestock of other farmers began to perish. Panic spread through the village as livelihoods were wiped out overnight. But Ram Bahadur was ready. He did not sleep. For 3 straight nights, he stayed in the shed, the cold biting at his skin. He monitored temperatures by candlelight, his eyes bloodshot and weary. He administered medicine with steady hands even as his body trembled from exhaustion. When the sun finally rose on the 4th day, casting a golden light over the frost, a miracle was revealed. While others mourned their losses, every single one of Ram Bahadur's goats stood healthy and strong. He had fought the winter and won. Today, 50 goats crowd his expanded shed, their bleating echoing across the entire valley like a song of victory. The young men who once mocked his choice now stand at his gate, eyes filled with regret and a new respect. They ask for the secret to his success. Ram Bahadur does not offer them empty dreams or grand speeches. He simply hands them a shovel and points to the earth. He shows them the deep, hard calluses on his palms and the thick ledger of his daily labor. He proved that the mountain soil only yields to those who are willing to bleed for it.